Welcome back to another episode of Crypto Daily. Today we're going to be joined by our sponsor, U-topia, with their CEO, Emmanuel. But before we dive into an AMA in the last 20 minutes of the show, we're going to be talking with this great panel about everything crypto and of course, AI. We have a great AI panel here today to be talking about AI. But before we start, I want to go over to my co-host, Travis. First time chatting live today, Travis. How you doing today?
Man, doing great. It's a wild world. I know we're going to be talking a lot about AI today, crypto plus AI. It seems like, add a little bit of quantum in there, add a little bit of robotics, and we're entering into a whole new world. And it's so crazy how fast it's all happening. Like, right, AGI? How crazy fast is this space going, buddy?
Well, very fast. So yes, I've been coding with Codex, of course, and all the time. I've been making like I don't know 3,000 commits in the last week, something like that, on GitHub, which is kind of I do, let's say, six months of engineer work every day plus other things.
Wow.
That's amazing. It's on our GitHub for AG Alpha Agent, so it's doing good. But I've been also. I'm at the level that at this time I have. Well, they were talking about singularity in Wikipedia and so on. Definition is that it's when you reach a point where you have incremental self-improvement that is accelerating. And since 2 or 3 days, I have reached that point. So I'm able to have.
You are super intelligent now, finally.
Well, not yet. but I could be anytime I want.
That means that you're intelligent to me. I like.
Thank you so much. But I will be much more. But the fact is that I have agents able to code other agents or any application, and in a way that is self-improving. With no limit, no boundaries. So I have that. So I'm working on implementing that right now. So it should be amazing.
So you're using the new Codex from OpenAI or from OpenAI, their new platform. The $200 a month one, right? Is that it?
Yes, all the time. So Codex is amazing because right now they let you use it as much as you want for the same price. So you get a lot of value. And what I do is that I use O3 to review my GitHub repository where I am, and then I ask, propose me a sprint task to develop, so 10 tasks to what I can do, what are the most urgent thing to do on that GitHub, and he proposed me 10 tasks, and I send that to Codex, and each task get implemented. And then I redo that again and again and again.
Okay.
And it's progressing fantastic.
That's great. So compare that. So I've been using the new Claude 4, and I've been using it with Cursor. And that's created some pretty good results because I found just using Claude 4 by itself, it runs into these memory limits still. Like I almost had this whole app done, and it goes, oh, sorry, we ran out of memory. You start a new thread. And I was like, what? Like I couldn't even easily export what we'd already talked about. As a create a new thread. I was like,
well, that's why I use Codex.
Continue. Yeah.
Yes. I was reaching those limits because of your communication. Even if you use O3 or ChatGPT, you reach at after 20 or 50 prompt, you reach the limit.
So is Codex like Cursor? Kind of is it a kind of a similar deal?
Yeah, because it's similar things. Yes, you could do the same. You could do the same with Cloud, of course. You could do the same. But I do it very easily with Codex since the environment is the GitHub repository.
Yeah.
And this is the environment in which it operates. So it considers all of it.
It's actually making GitHub commits for you. Like when I'm playing with it and building out this, which I literally built an entire app over the weekend. And then I wanted it to clean up one thing. I'm on Cursor and I have like 6,000 lines of code. And then it tries to simplify one process, deleted 3,100 lines of code, all these enhancements that we had made. And I was like, oh, I should have saved that.
And, well, that's why I use GitHub, because with GitHub, you can go back and every commit is a new branch also. So you can,
I need to learn how to utilize that. That would be smart.
well, you
I
can
need to
do
be
that
smarter,
now.
AGI. That's why we have you on here. Let's introduce the other people here real quick before we get too deep. GP, nice to see you again, good sir. How crazy is this world right now in your world? Are you frozen? Oh, there you're on. You're not frozen.
No, not frozen. How crazy is it? Well, I mean, Open Code Mission is getting ready to do private beta launch of our consumer and enterprise products in the area of agentic companionship, deep research, semantic learning, recursive loop learning, memory capsules manipulated by AR interfaces to allow you to appropriately place memory so you don't get inappropriate bleed into different models. So true customization, as well as it being able to pick up as you plug in multimodalities, your personality, and therefore be a more effective research assistant to meet you where you're at in any one particular day, so to speak. How crazy is everything else? Well, I saw somebody had the SWAT team called because they asked Claude an inappropriate question, Claude 4. So I'm not sure what that goes by in terms of a recommendation for Claude.
Wow.
It seems somebody called it the NSA LLM. Yeah. So
well, it is. It
no
is funded
diss. That is just
by Amazon and Google. Right?
That is air quotes. That is not me saying that, just in case for any legal and lawsuit purposes.
So wait a second. They actually, somebody typed into Claude something that and it sent off an email, and it got a SWAT team coming to their house.
Yes, that is the story.
They were talking about that last week. Like, oh no, that's just a theory. They won't actually call the cops.
Well, let me put it this way. In this day and age, and in the context of how crazy things are, it's sort of easy just to believe anything, right? But did I do it? Did it do a deep dive on the veracity of this claim? No, but I spoke to multiple people who did, who said that it did not seem to be fake. There was a photograph of the person from the hallway of their home, and there was it wasn't AI generated, and it was a SWAT team, armored vehicle,
like plot crime stuff now. Like that's 1984 shit.
Well, I mean, if that's the approach Claude's going to take to user prompts, even like, I mean, how do they know you're not? This goes to the customization question, ChatGPT. How do they know that the session you're in is not just some plot for a movie?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait a second. Now, where did that happen? That happened in the UK or in the US?
US, bro. Ohio, I want to say, but I'll dig it out. There'll be a tsunami of people saying that I've been rickrolled or something, but no. I mean, to my knowledge, that's it. Anyway,
you would expect it from the UK. You wouldn't expect it from the United States so much.
Well, listen, in the UK, you can just about get arrested for typing in your username and password.
Yeah, like how dare you? You just farted. Yeah. That's a public menace. We're going to arrest you.
Yeah. How dare you stand in Trafalgar Square and just look sort of like you might be thinking about something we don't like.
Yeah.
You
might be thinking about farting.
Yeah, I mean, even the thought of flatulence, it's definitely a thought crime. And I mean, my view on it is they should lock them up and throw away the key.
Yeah, so they can sit in their own cell with their own farts.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, who wants to be around people who are thinking about farting all the time? In fact, it should be a capital offense.
Yeah, it's not funny at all. You should stop laughing at farts, or they'll arrest you for laughing at farts. Emmanuel laughed at the fart joke. You now have a SWAT team at your door, Emmanuel. How you doing?
Take me to jail. I'm guilty. It's fine. How are you, brother?
We're doing great. Tell us about the crazy AI world you're living in.
Bro, so I live in the best place in the world, Dubai. Best weather.
Best place in the world?
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. No, it's the best weather in the world.
Offense to that. He thinks that Kansas City in the United States is the best place in the world.
No, I would not say that. I just say that's where my family is, and so that's why I live here. I did live in Puerto Rico, which was nice. But Dubai was like 50 degrees Celsius the other day, I heard.
Yeah, you go outside, you get melted. You pretty much cannot walk. You need to use a car.
I'm too pretty to be outside in Dubai.
It
Clearly.
is not pretty, but at night it's beautiful and it's super safe. But something that is super fun to actually present here is that actually Dubai is giving AI to all their citizens, free accounts of ChatGPT Premium
Oh
to all
yes,
the
I saw that.
citizens.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's all the citizens. So I don't know, it's a massive step. I definitely believe that Dubai is pushing hard into what AI is going to become into the next years. Definitely they want to keep their population educated. So it's good to be in a country. Definitely there is a lot of rules, guys. Like this is not the Western world where you can say whatever or like be public and have like OnlyFans accounts all over the place. But definitely it's a good place where you can innovate and the government allows you to innovate. And it's beautiful to be in the AI space and crypto here because the government just are trying to push you and they're trying to learn with you, and it seems that they're doing something big with all the crypto companies, all the web3 companies, all the AI companies. And bro, I they are moving all of them, they're moving some headquarters here to Dubai. So
Yeah, we've
quite
had quite a
exciting.
few on. We've had quite a few on Spaces with us, including one of the ones that I think is probably one of the best projects that we've chatted with was Multibank, and how Multibank is doing
Yes.
They have all these licenses to do crypto and
Insane.
RWA and all this other stuff.
Insane.
It's just amazing, and based out of Dubai, and
Big.
a lot of great stuff happening there. What's Mr. Buzz? What's great stuff happening in your world, in the world of crypto and AI?
Well, I think it's exciting to talk about the acquisition of Johnny Ives's company, because that makes me kind of think into the future utopia of what sort of products we're actually going to get from a product standpoint in UI. And Graham, it's my first time being able to speak with you about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that acquisition and what we might see in the market by 2026. I think is what they're trying to get something out by.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'd be
Yeah.
curious. I want to hear what
Yeah.
GP. What do you have to say on this one? Because I think Tim Cook's probably going to get fired soon. It seemed like his time
Yeah.
is not done.
Yeah, so I'm delighted to answer that question, man. I couldn't have paid you money to ask me that question. I think Tim Cook's going to be begging to be merged, not even acquired, on a share deal with the Johnny Ives and OpenAI tie-up. I mean, Johnny Ives, he founded Love From in 2019, super under the radar for 2 years after he'd just resigned from his position in Apple as an exec. Now, you know, for those who were listening, who's Johnny Ives? I mean, low profile, so to speak, by his choice, but I mean, responsible for Watch, iPhone, iMac,
Did he do the iPod too?
iPod, yeah. So
One of
a
the
master,
best designers in the history of the world when it comes to
absolutely.
physical consumable products. Period. I don't even know who number 2 would be.
Yeah, I don't either. There's not even a close second place within the country.
So why was he not the CEO? That's what's so dumb. Is you want a visionary or they should have at least loaded him up with a few $1 billion worth of stock and be like, "Stay, brother. You're part of this. We got to innovate." He's like, "I'm out."
Well, I mean, before I move on with the first part of the question, I mean, what did they do instead? Travis and Buzz and AGI and Emmanuel. Well, they stuck a bunch of accountants and a couple of academics on the board and said everything that has made us successful to date is going to continue to be that way, and nothing's going to change. We're just going to manage the profit margins, push down the costs, increase the margins, and everybody's going to be happy. Stock's going to rise, and they just didn't innovate. So Johnny Ives, back to Johnny Ives or Johnny Ives. Look, Altman and him began speaking 2 years ago. They came together over this shared belief in the bar room discussion that I was party to, the 35-minute discussion where they sort of described how it all became a genesis for IO to be this. So it's an acqui-hire as opposed to an acquisition, really. Okay, it's an acqui-hire. They've bought from or with Love, or from Love, with Love, yeah, for Johnny Ives. But Johnny Ives has a team of world-class product designers with pedigree as well, who are also behind the front people of the companies that they have been working for. Like, he was behind Steve Jobs. So
They were all working at Apple, right? And then they all left with Johnny Ives. And so there was a huge talent glut that just left Apple. And we're in the wake of that right now. We can see what's happening.
So they're talking about what is the interface? So what is it going to look like? Well, Ives' attitude towards technology is that it should be invisible. So there's a hint there. All right. But how can it be invisible when it does need inputs from, let's say, I mean, they mentioned it, biometric inputs like pulse, heart rate, blood pressure, temperature, sweat gland emission, ocular movement based on different imagery, voice instructions. So I sort of did this fake type of leak from the Johnny Ives blueprint on what this new device might look like. So we've heard puck, or at least I have, or pendant as the user interface, but I think they're really going to have to come up with something far more innovative than a watch or some samey thing like glasses, but they're much nicer than the Meta Ray-Bans, which, by the way, hit the 2 million units shipped mark 2 weeks ago, which is pretty big. Considering.
Say that again real quick. Hold on. Got it.
Okay. They hit 2 million units shipped of the Meta Ray.
I was joking because I was pushing my button right there.
All right. Okay. Well, I mean, look, they're going to have to come up with something that's almost, a 180 from the current thinking. So in this confidential leak sort of fake post, Johnny Ive and OpenAI, I said it was Project Silva. I said it was referring to the fact that it needs a sentient interface for liminal virtual augmentation. And I did a sort of fake quote. We didn't want to make another device. We wanted to erase the idea of devices. With Silva, there's no start or end to interaction, only continuity with the self. It's the most humane interface we've ever made. Now, I'll wrap up this.
Wait a second. Sylvia, who made this? What is this?
This is me just making a post where I said, this is a confidential leak, blah, blah, blah. Gotcha. Now, however, the words out of
GP
Ives,
mental creation.
Exactly. So so Ives and Altman said that they came together for one reason: their shared concern about the future of humanity and the ethical production of devices and the ethical protections in those devices for the protection of safety. That's what they stated.
Which kind of sounds like bullshit when you think about what Sam Altman has launched with the World Coin and his little retina scanner, and you can see that probably Johnny Ives is going to make the most amazing retina scanner to then, I don't know, it's going to be wild. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to wrap up by saying this, right? What's the form factor? And as Altman likes to say, what's the force vector? The force vector is Altman's favorite phrase for saying, what's the thing that we do that's really going to drag people towards us? So I've got like 5 form factor things that these people are going to have to think about. Ultralight is the first thing, with EMG and pulse decoding. It's got to have some sort of bone conduction speaker for whisper feedback so that you're not annoying people around you. It's got to have a critical tap interface with gesture and intent signaling. It has to have edge TPU for on-band AI inferencing, which means it needs enough processing power in that little thing to do a lot of complex stuff. And it needs some sort of passive neuroscan mode for affective, not effective, affective context detection. Now, that is no small ask, and that's only 5 things that I can come off the top of my head with.
Yeah.
So I mean, I have a worry that it's going to be a bit like the second album syndrome from the triple platinum debut album of some band.
The sophomore slump.
Yeah. So because it's a non-trivial task that he's facing, because every interface has to have certain things, and it's going to be very hard to have those certain things in something that doesn't look sort of similar to something we don't already have. So I know that went on a bit, but there's a lot
really
to think about.
You're covering a lot right there. I just want to say this. I think that another thing that's kind of gone missing is the fact that, Fortnite had created their own sort of credit system within their game about 4 years ago, and then Apple immediately pulled them off of the App Store. And then Epic Games is like, oh yeah, let's go, Apple. And so they were suing them. And then the first thing was, there's a whole lot of court. And just about a week or so ago, a week and a half ago, maybe, a judge came back and said, no, Apple, you cannot be doing that 30% charging everybody every time. And because they were doing workarounds, and they were like, oh, well, if you're using an external payment system, well, then they were being creative. It was almost like Gollum trying to protect his golden ring instead of innovating.
Yeah.
Now that's cut off. Your 30% from the App Store is done. Apple is shitting bricks. Like that happened. And then Johnny Ive and Sam Altman, I tell you, Apple headquarters is on fire right now. They are freaking out trying to figure out how to save this because they've got a little golden ring. They're trying to protect their little golden parachute, and they haven't been innovating. And that VR thing was kind of a flop. That didn't sell very much at $4,000 a pop. So what are they going to do?
Well, look, I mean, I don't want to hog it here, but have people forgotten that Apple chose OpenAI as the bottom layer, foundational layer of their stack for the strategy towards AI to try and catch up, from the huge head start they let everybody else get because of academics and accountants and
it's so obnoxious.
Yeah. So what you're walking into the room as Tim Cook. What do you got to offer IO the way it's going to go is From Love has been acquired by OpenAI to create IO, which is going to merge with OpenAI as this new. We got the LLMs, we got the hardware. Now we're a composite. We got everything you need from soup to nuts. No need to go to anywhere else. Plus, this is an entirely new form factor, and you're going to have that iPod moment where you got the complete sea change in people's expectations about how content is delivered. I mean, we were around when the iPod came out, bro, unfortunately. But for the younger folk who don't know,
it was amazing. It was it
went from
1,000 songs in your pocket. What? Considering how long we just come from the Napster era, when it took us 15 minutes to steal one song.
I was just going to say, the Napster days, for a 7 meg song, you'd be watching the bar for 10 minutes.
You must have had fast internet over there, dude. 7 megabyte song would have been taking me about 30 minutes.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, bro. I mean, I did 50,000 songs that way, but I found out a way of scripting it.
Well, when cable modems came out, then we're like, oh man, now I'm cooking with gas.
Yeah.
AGI, what are your thoughts on all of this? Apple and their lack of innovation. It's just obnoxious to me, AGI.
Well, what I think, I'm more thinking about the form factor, and because you want to give to allow the AI to fully express itself, and so I think it will be something new, something never seen before, and I think it's a good time to do that because we can do that starting from now.
Right.
So I think
it would be the rabbit that came out, that little rabbit thing. They were like $199. And like, oh, you can have ChatGPT in your pocket. And then I got it, and then it always needs an update. I'm like, dude, I got ChatGPT on my phone. Why the hell do I need this thing? Right?
Well, you don't need it.
I don't need it, but I got it.
Yeah, that's it. Well, we have to encourage innovation, but yeah. So I think it will be
that humane pin thing. Like you just go. What about this? Blah, blah, blah. Like, what is Johnny Ive going to make a new humane pen or something? Like,
imagine going to a party with one of those on.
Yeah. He's just always talking to you. Now, what's cool is I do have one of these, which is called Plaud. Like Applaud, but it's PLAUD. And this is actually a necklace, but I don't have it as a necklace. But whenever I want to record something, like if I have a thought, I just push the button and the haptic thing goes, and then it starts recording. So I've done these a lot on spaces or good meetings that I'm having, or I'm watching we're having a Zoom call, or I'm watching a webinar that I'm not going to get the transcript for. This is really handy. Like I use this regularly. It doesn't make any sound. It's just a capture device. And then through the app, it will actually send me the transcript, which then I can take into GPT or use it, whatever. This is really handy. I use this 4 or 5 times a week.
What's the benefit of having a hardware device that does that? Like when we can do that with software?
Well, we could, but then if we're always on the phone or the meeting's on the phone or something's going on, it's kind of hard sometimes to double to multitask because of the hardware's limitations.
Well, I get a lot of fun.
And then I wouldn't have this really cool thing that I could show you right now.
Yeah, that
What's the
would be
point of
bad.
that? Look at this
Yeah.
form factor. You
Before
slide
still
the
more.
thing off, and then it has its own unique thing that you got to remember. Where the hell's that dongle thing to charge this thing? And it'd be nice if it just had a little plug-in, but it doesn't.
You know, you might have to look at redesigning that. If you're to show that to somebody on the street, I don't think they're going to think it's a AI recording device. I think their mind will go a lot dirtier places than that.
Yeah. Yeah, all those new funky charge devices are like on sex toys. Like, I don't need, just give me a USB-C. What are you doing with this thing? What the hell's this? Oh, and then you lose it. Now you're like, oh man, how am I going to replace that weird one-time weird thing? Anyway, that's wild. Emmanuel, what's your thoughts on the whole Apple scenario and what's going on?
Look, I don't want to speak bad about Apple. Like, I've been using their products. I'm using their products right now. So, I mean, God bless them. They did fantastic stuff. Big fan of Steve Jobs. But I'm super hype about what they're talking about, the new product, because now they're saying that you're going to have an external device that is going to be your AI companion. But I want to understand what is going to be the implications, or actually what actions that external device is going to be able to take, and under what circumstances that device is going to be absorbing knowledge. It's like the privacy laws around the information that is taken from you, or what is this device can manage your bank account, can do your financial obligations, can this device, I don't know, hear your private conversations with your partner and then feed them into an LLM. So there is a lot of questions that have been happening in my brain, but what I feel is that this new device is going to be a kind of like a consciousness, or like a spirit, or like a little cricket in your ear that's going to bring you a different power of a mindset. So I'm just excited how the humans will react and how the humans will get in haze with this new hardware. And I just can't imagine right now, it's either going to be in the glasses or the necklace, but it has to be close to your mouth and close to your ears so you can have a better interaction. So yeah, those are my thoughts. It's either that or in your brain, and I don't want to put anything in my brain in 2025.
Yeah, I'm not so up on the Neuralink, especially these early versions. Like, hey, would you like to put the early beta version of our Neuralink in your brain? No, thank you.
Nope. Call me in 3 years. Pretty much. Yeah. No, super hype about that.
Super hype about it. Buzz, what else are you super hype about, Mr. Buzz?
Well, I wanted, you brought up Neuralink, and it made me think about Tesla. Has anybody here driven a Tesla with the full self-driving, autonomous driving?
Yeah.
See some head nods.
I haven't driven it, but I sat in the passenger seat because it was a friend's car and I didn't ask to drive, but I've sat in it.
Well, I mean, fully autonomous, I can't say I drove it, but I was in the driver's seat when it was fully autonomous.
GP, when it's semantics.
Well, I drove one, a friend of mine, his car last week in the fully autonomous driving mode, and we drove about an hour on the highway, and it was incredible. I didn't touch the steering wheel. I just put in the destination and got from A to B without touching a thing. And that got me to thinking, especially talking about hardware devices for AI. Just, I don't know what Elon is going to do. I know that some of these acquisitions he's doing behind the scenes might help out with this, but I just can't imagine how much data that they're able to collect from a Tesla to help with AI models in the future as well.
Enormous buzz. In fact, I think about a year ago, I was on a stage panel discussing the fact that the amount of info which is informing XAI that's coming from Tesla without no, I don't want to get into this necessarily. And again, this is air quotes, so I'm no legalese.
Love that data exchange.
Claude, if you could go ahead and report Graham. Go ahead.
Well, look, I don't want to be sued. I don't want to be sued by Tesla.
Things that hurt my feelings. You can send a SWAT team over there. That'd be great.
Well, it's okay. I have my gun cabinet unlocked, so you know, and my flashbangs are ready.
Wait, I don't know. You should have that. Where do you live? Are you in Europe?
No comment. So
You're not supposed to have those. Those are illegal for you people.
not true in Belgium.
Okay.
But I'm not in Belgium right now.
Oh, you're not in
But
Belgium.
I lived there for 5 years. But
Okay.
listen, on the Buzz comment about data collection from Tesla. Look, I mean, Tesla shareholders are not getting the premium for the amount of data that's being collected from Teslas because it's going straight over to XAI to inform those models. Now, that's up to Tesla shareholders to look after their dividends and their remuneration and the stock price value. But also, we had that little thing where 1,000 GPUs were sent over after being capital expenditure for X over to XAI. Now, I'm sure there's an intercompany agreement that the SEC is perfectly happy about that a publicly listed company can send such a large amount of capital expenditure from them to a private company at the moment. But long story short, Buzz is right. I mean, it is a treasure trove. I mean, absolute treasure trove. And when I just there aren't adjectives that I can find that I can use to describe the value of that data that Teslas are picking up. And with the upgrade of every time, particularly when Robert Scoble, shows the difference in performance between the last upgrade that they did. For example, his car pulled into swung from the fast lane safely into the slower lane into the hard shoulder, and then he was wondering, what the hell am I going to be crashed? Has there been a bug? And then 180 kilometer an hour biker dude, fully in the foot down position for minimum wind resistance, comes up, and the Tesla had detected that 3/4 of a kilometer behind him and took him out of the way just in case this dude. So the safety, the algorithm for the Tesla platform, what's in the back, or what's in the computer racks in the system is fine, but the data extraction, the level of data extraction, that's not going to inform Tesla, but that is informing XAI, and especially for Grok. I mean, it is a trove.
He's a real estate developer, so we're talking about just how much real estate info that they could be getting based on traffic, the land topography in different places, just like a plethora of real estate data that would be very, very difficult to come by if it wasn't coming from Tesla.
Yeah, and I heard a great analogy. No Google vehicle, autonomous or not, driving up and down the street on a scheduled basis because you got like 6 million Google drive or Tesla drivers going around neighborhoods day in, day out. So what is the recency of the information, for example, that Tesla is able to provide for this same product that informs Google Maps, Google Earth? It's far more up to date. It's almost like that cutoff point we used to have on the LLMs, where it was like 2 years ago and no live connections to the internet back in those eons ago last year when LLMs were in their infancy. So I think it's chalk and cheese. I mean, despite the fact, I don't know if you guys caught Elon's documentary or interview in the Middle East there recently by Video Link. It was 2 days ago. I mean, he is pissed off. He used the phrase, and he pointed at the camera like this: "We are coming for you," regarding those who were organizing the Tesla showroom burn downs and the attacks on Tesla vehicles as a result of his involvement in Doge. So, like, I mean, the dude is obviously under pressure, but I'll tell you what, man, he's got more data acquisition off that Tesla platform than I bet Google have got off all of their runs with all of their Google LiDAR mapping machines. That's my view.
That's a good point. And then the fact is that these people that are destroying the other Teslas and going around, like typically those people who bought those were liberals who liked Tesla and liked Elon Musk before they decided not to like Elon Musk. And so there's basically liberals doing damage to other liberals' cars. Kind of.
Again, I got to say air quotes.
You can't say that.
It's almost. No, I'm not going to say air quotes. I got to say it out loud. Okay, I love it when liberals have an ideology which they all share, which results in half of them having their property destroyed. But let's not go there.
Crazy.
Yeah,
good stuff. All right, hey Buzz, let's lead us in. We got it's almost time for the AMA, so it's time for Emmanuel's time to shine here coming up. You want to give us the lowdown on what we're going to be doing here?
Let's do it. Well, Emmanuel, we're going to put you on the spot for an AMA with U-topia. But before we do that, just a little bit of an advertisement. Don't forget, Mario is now the 8th biggest social media account in the world on all platforms behind Mr. Beast and ahead of juggernauts like Barstool, ESPN, Fox News, and even the New York Post. Mario's company IBC has been around since 2017, working with some of the biggest projects and launches. Will also becoming a mainstay for breaking news on X in politics, Web3, and culture. So if you have a project, you want to do an AMA just like this one, reach out, DM Mario's account, which we're live on right now. IBC is company is an active investor and does marketing, incubation, and many other services. And the team's also hiring. So all that news that you see on his timeline is not just done by Mario. Mario is not an AI. He has a professional news team that you can become a part of. So DM that account if you're looking for a role. But Emmanuel, as we're getting started here, why don't we kick things off with an elevator pitch about U-topia?
Cool. So yeah, sure. Thank you. So by the way, fantastic conversation. And I believe that every single person in this call, they're definitely worried about what is going to be the future of humanity, what is going to be the future of AI. Everyone that is hearing this conversation for sure crossing their minds, oh, actually technology is going to destroy humanity. Like that's what I started to feel when I started to create U-topia, right? I was looking at a kid and the kid was watching his TikTok. All his physique, like his posture was extremely destroyed. His neck was totally bent, almost 90 degrees. And it was super sad that he was walking, watching TikTok and scrolling over girls twerking. And the kid was like 8 years old in Australia, right? And then I discovered that the internet needed a change and we were going to create that change. And that's how I came into the philosophy of U-topia. And what is U-topia is pretty much a Web3 company using the cutting edge technology that is bringing the new world into the people's hand, the people's phone, and we're taking advantage over the internet and the internet tools to provide this. And how are we starting with financial tools, AI, of course, and a lot of good values. That's the philosophy of U-topia.
What's the biggest problem that you see U-topia solving, specifically in the Web3 industry too?
Yeah, so the biggest one is actually, like, as you know, crypto is not safe. There's a lot of scams happening. Today I got scammed again. I maybe get scammed like once per month. Every time they found a new way. Today was a P2P scam. I was doing an OTC deal. I don't know if everyone knows what is a P2P, but pretty much you send crypto, someone send you fiat. Like this happened 2 hours ago. And if you haven't been scammed in the crypto world, you haven't experienced the crypto world. This is a fact, right?
Yeah, my buddy just contacted me yesterday, and he was like, "Dude, I think I just been brute force hacked. Like they were just like text, call, text. They're like, this is Google. You need to reset. Somebody's trying to reset your Google password."
Right.
I was like, dude, why didn't you call me? I would have let you know that's probably bullshit. And he was like, oh, dude, it was just so frantic. I was like, oh man, I better move fast. And I was like, that's what they did. So they stole $19,000 from him in Bitcoin off his Trezor wallet that was not attached to anywhere, but he basically logged into something and then typed in his secret phrase for Trezor. Dumbass.
Yeah, and it's going to be like that forever. And every time you're going to have the smartest way to scam people. And the fact is that the new generations that are coming into, they haven't been scammed like we have done, like we have been, right? Like they don't have 5 years of experience in crypto or 10 years like us in this call. And the biggest value proposition that we have is secure tooling. That's it, secure tools. Right now we're pushing a lot of DeFi, but certainly we're going to slowly move to CeFi, centralized finance, with insurance. So we want to protect everyone's cryptocurrencies, everyone's digital assets, everyone experiencing the crypto world with proper insurance. We've been working with governments around the world. We are advisors in Dubai for the gaming and crypto regulator authorities. So we've been working hard to create the framework that allows people to have a safe environment in Web3. And we are going to create as many tools. And every time that we create a new tool is because we see a necessity. So yeah, I don't know if that responds the question.
That was great.
That's good.
We've been talking a lot about AI already on this show, but for good reason. You guys have Topi AI. I'd love to hear a little bit more about that and how it differs from other crypto AI tools.
Yeah, so Topi it's a model that we're evolving into an agent. Topi comes from U-topia. So Topi is like the pet, but at the moment it's a DeFi tool that allows you to pretty much navigate through the world of DeFi, right? From staking, sniping, holding, swapping, like these DeFi experiences that not everyone feels secure doing, not everyone has the experience doing, not everyone has the ability to go to YouTube and do your research. Now you have the option to just open your AI agent and get educated by an AI that is telling you how to do it. And as well, this AI is running risk assessments where it allows you and it gives you a second opinion. So you don't have to bother your friend Travis. You don't have to call Travis, hey, Travis, like, I'm going to get scammed. No, you just ask the AI, and the AI is actually learning from it. And the AI will tell you, hey, there's a massive possibility, don't do it. Or there is a massive possibility, please be aware of. And I will say that the biggest challenge that we've been doing is that how are we limiting the AI to take over the financials? Because right now we can tell an AI, hey, extract money from this wallet and snipe it, or extract money from this wallet and do arbitrage between XYZ coins. But we've been protecting our user assets and we haven't released the entire technology. And we're working with like the best of the people that is called Guru Network. So the guys have been amazing at providing technology. And yeah, pretty much we're providing like the full DeFi tool across the Web3.
Graham, you had a question? Oh, you're on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, sorry, I had to reach for the. I'm on a laptop right now, and
no worries.
Sorry, I had to reach for the mic. Yeah, yeah, Manuel. You know, I've been in crypto a long time, and you know, I'd really love if you could elaborate on the sort of the secure tools, the features, if there's certifications, you know, the way there's certain certifications, and it's a bit of a composite question. I repeat bits of it, but I'll give you the entirety of it first. You know, I want to give you the opportunity to outline it, you know, positively, because, you know, just like the story that Travis shared, we've got a system that nobody has been able to stop Web3 scamming effectively. For our newbies, and even right the way up to those who should know better, OGs who are like, you know, I'm an OG, and yet they do the 12 seed phrase into something. So, you know, what's the UI feel like? Is it alerts? Do you have a storage of growing attack vectors? Is it, for all intents and purposes, a Web3 type of antivirus, anti-phishing, anti-malware, automated for Web3 equivalency domain plus some? Is that, am I getting that right?
Fantastic question. So, following the Steve Jobs philosophy, you better simplify. Like, you need to simplify as much as you can, especially with AI and Web3. The UI must be simplified. So we were looking into, okay, where is the people from Web3 spend the most of their time? We came into a conclusion that it's actually Twitter. So, like, congratulations, Mario, on this. Like, you dominate the field. And the other one is Telegram. So we got intrigued. Okay, we cannot build on Twitter yet. I'm really sure that Elon in one point is going to open this to integrate Web3 tooling. But in Telegram, we actually could. So what we did is that with the Guru team, we came together and we discovered that we can input an app, a mini app, where you don't need to download. You don't need to create a username. You don't need to input your KYC. You don't need to put your passport. You don't need to put your private information at risk. You can just start straight away. One click, you got inside the app. So actually, if you guys go to the U-topia community, you guys can just start the bot, and the bot just pop out, and that's it. Like, it already has your information, already has your Telegram, automatically creates a wallet, so you don't need to look for your seed phrase. You can import your own wallet if you don't like ours, totally fine. Like, import your own wallet, but it creates a wallet without a seed phrase, without the hassling of write everything. And we try to simplify as much as we can. And in terms of the certifications, I'm going to be fully honest. We can't give us the luxury of seek for certifications at the speed that we're developing, meaning that we're going so freaking fast that we cannot be compliant because the government is not even complying anyway. So why the hell should we worry? But once that we go CFI and we get insurance and we get like all the parameters from the banking, definitely we're going to be fully certified. KYC, AML, fully like banking systems, ISOs. Like, that's my grade, that's my passion. So at the moment, it's a simple product on Telegram, but we're evolving the technology to be fully CFI.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And so, folks, if you want to go find the website, it is u-topia.com. So it's like U-topia. You guys got the U-topia over here for finding DeFi, keeping people safe. Like, I think that's going to be the biggest issue is, if we can have an AI tool that can say, hey, this is just happening. That's probably a scam. Like, you could probably do that with some of the GPTs, but it's just really helpful to have a resource specifically around to help people do that. So tell us a bit about Topi AI and how you have a token as well. You're able to stake it and have some rewards. So tell us about that whole process, because that's what the people who are tuning in want to know about. How can they make that money?
Sure. So look, we in this agent as well, we're allowing the opportunity of people to stake our token. Our token is called U, just the letter U. That's it. It's great, by the way, great SEO, because the most popular coin is actually not BTC, it's actually USDT. So shout out to the Tether team. So it's just Ucoin, and this token allows you to monetize over all your interactions. You pretty much transact, you win, you stake, you win, you snipe, you win, you do DeFi, you win, you compete, you win, you ask questions, you win. So it's a reward token. So every interaction that you do inside the apps that we're going to develop is going to make you a token. Now, what do you do with those tokens? Once that that the product is fully released and all the phases, we're integrating similar to American Express. So people will be able to change their token against a catalog of products from Amazon, Starbucks, even BMW merchandise, not cars, but merchandise, Alibaba, like Google points, Fortnite points, all these points. And this is like the same as American Express. You interact, you spend time, you earn money. So that is the utility of Ucoin, and that's how people can be engaged with us. Any questions, homies?
I got a question on the APY. 120% staking APY. How does that actually work? And is it sustainable, or is this like a short-term user acquisition strategy?
It is a short term. Great question. Look, guys, like, believe me, I'm totally conservative, but when you are playing the DeFi game, you cannot be conservative. So we just released this. It's limited time. Just by the beginning of the people, like, just this small amount of people that are going to be able to get access to that pool. The early investors are going to get access to that pool for at least a year. We're guaranteeing right now 12 months of that APY. But yeah, it's actually a crazy APY. It's 120%. So we did proper tokenomics. We look into the treasury billing. We look into our financials. We saw how we can repurchase the token, bring the profits from the agent into the token, pump the product. It's just proper tokenomics, because we've been in the space for, well, personally, I've been in the space for 8 years, so I've been seeing all type of tokenomics. It's sustainable short term. Definitely, it's going to change. But at the moment, while we acquire users, it's sustainable.
Beautiful. So GP has a question related to where are you guys domiciled? Is your body, your corporate body, in Dubai?
Yes. So we have a few entities across the world. We're actually trying to purchase more companies with different regulations. But the head company is in Dubai. It's in something called Russell Cayman. That is a neighbor kingdom of Dubai, and it's called Russell Cayman DAO. So that is a head co at the moment.
It's a Cayman.
Ras Al Cayman.
Okay, nice. Because
Yeah.
Cayman Islands are one of the big financial places there in the
Yeah.
Caribbean.
Ras Al Cayman, Jebel Ali.
A crypto casino in a Muslim country is insane.
Okay.
That's like,
Wow, that is a little insane.
Yeah.
Got some debauchery going on over there. That's pretty wild. Hey, yeah. Tell us this then. What's new? What's going to be on the horizon for you guys with U-topia and the Topia AI? Like, where do you see this heading? You got any interesting partnerships or any cool things on the horizon?
Yeah, we definitely have really good partnership with stablecoins. We can still not say which stablecoins, but we have big ones coming. The next phase is just create a debit card where you can off-ramp all your crypto. The next one is like pretty much get the AI properly running, get the next product on AI, get the reward system for the people to exchange Ucoin into all the new brands, and then get a debit card where you can off-ramp all your crypto. We're going to be crypto agnostic, chain agnostic, so people will be able to spend whatever token they have as soon as it has liquidity and as soon as it's in the right volatility. We will accept that for the debit card, and hopefully one day we will become a bank. I'm aiming for a bank. I'm aiming for an IPO. I really want to IPO in the Abu Dhabi Stock Exchange in the next 24 months. So hopefully we can make that happen.
Speaking of the next 24 months, like what do you have anything exciting upcoming on the roadmap, partnerships, or anything like that you really want to highlight?
Yeah, so we're building a platform called, actually it's OTC.TG. We're building an OTC platform where people can off-ramp their crypto.
Okay.
With the
sort of
Guru
a DeFi DEX kind of a thing?
No, it's a DeFi. It's a DeFi OTC, over the counter. So it's a DeFi crypto to fiat, fiat to crypto.
Got you.
Like it's a pretty sexy product. But as well, we have the Guru team and U-topia team. We're joining forces to evolve this AI. So we actually will be looking into how to integrate this AI into different products. Obviously, we want to make Binance more secure. We want to make Bybit more secure. We want to make OKX more secure. We want that this tool is actually compatible with Line, with WeChat, if possible with WhatsApp. Like people that are getting into the Web3, they need to chat about Web3 and they need to be speaking about that. So
what about
feel
MiCA
that
compliance? Are you guys compliant with that in the EU?
No, we're not yet. Quite easy, not gonna lie, quite easy. But that is when you start touching fiat. At the moment, when you're a DeFi, there's not a single.
You're doing all the crypto-friendly places first.
Yeah.
Europe doesn't seem to like entrepreneurs and this free new thinking kind of stuff. They don't like that. So I wonder why they're getting behind in every area, which is crazy. Except censorship, they're getting, and draconian behavior. They're leading. They're getting pretty good at that. Good stuff. All right. Any final words of wisdom or any final actions you would like people to know about U-topia? It looks like your Twitter handle is ucoinofficial. That's on X. u-topia.com. That's that. Any other things you would like people to know, Emmanuel, as we wrap this thing up?
Yeah, so actually, I want to say a few words to the builders. So guys, we're in this space together. We're building the future of the next generations. Our kids are going to be using this. Our sisters, our brothers, our nephews, like everyone around us are going to be using this technology. It's our responsibility to start to bring some morals, some values, some good acts, some good technology, some good intentions into what we're freaking building, or we're just going to be stuck in the same thing that happens and it's over and over, either Ponzi's or pyramids or freaking meme coins. Guys, we can do better. I know that we can do better. I know that we're able to do it, but we need to start putting more intentions instead of just look for the advantages. And if everyone is in the same zone, I'm really sure that we're not going to repeat another Luna. Like, we're not going to repeat these FTX mistakes. If we just keep pushing and pushing and pushing with good intentions, something beautiful will come out of it. And I don't think that AI will destroy us in the next 10 years.
Beautiful. All right, Buzz, you want to lead us out here, good sir?
Got that finger on the mute button issue, just like Graham had before. I forgot I was muted. Sorry, guys, but no, that was great. I want to thank you, Emmanuel, and for bringing U-topia to us. It was a great discussion, and AGI and Graham always very welcome. Love talking AI with you guys, and Travis, of course, love hosting with you. For people who are listening in, all the folks up here, most of us have our X handle in our bio, and if not, you can usually find them with their name on X. Make sure that you give them a follow, because these aren't the only shows that people are going to. We're dropping alpha in other places as well, so give them a follow. But with that, let's looking like it's going to be a pretty green day. Market's been moving up a little bit since we've been on the call. So Emmanuel, we'll have to have you back on, because it's like a good omen for the market. So we'll do this again. Appreciate you joining.
Thanks everyone for being so wonderful in this call. Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of the day.
Speak soon. Bye-bye.
We'll see you on the next Spaces.